I dreamed dreams that didn't feel real. Or maybe the dreams I thought weren't real were actually my reality. Today's discussion: calligraphy writing, ReMarkable 2 versus pen and paper. Now, originally I was going to do this little video at my desk. I haven't talked about it yet, but I do have a new desk. It's actually a desk. It's built for desk work, unlike the desk I had previous, which was basically a very narrow side table, something you'd put in the entranceway to your home. This little writing experiment was a bit too ambitious, and I feel I needed more space. The kitchen counter table was where I ultimately decided to do this little experiment. What word do I want to say besides experiment? I keep fumbling right before I say experiment. Maybe the word I want to say is test. I'm gonna just go with that. I practiced calligraphy a long time ago when I was much younger. Now, as I haven't done calligraphy in a long time, I never became really proficient at it. I just did a quick Google search of calligraphy, and I found one of the first things that popped up, which was a nice, elegant, swooshy way to write the word calligraphy. The difference between the two devices, and when I say devices, I mean ReMarkable 2 and paper, were immediately clear. I started on the ReMarkable 2, and after a few tries, after a few erases, I had one solid, very good looking word. The success of this word happened fairly quickly. The tools were pretty good. I picked the calligraphy, obviously the calligraphy pen with the thickest pen flow. The pen seemed to move exactly where I wanted it to. There was no weirdness to the ink. There was no smudging. There was no lag. There was no delaying of ink. Within a few minutes, maybe not even a few minutes, maybe less than that, I reached pretty much near perfection of what I thought looked great. So then I moved on shortly thereafter to the pen and paper. I immediately felt the stark contrast. First of all, the ink gave me a little bit of trouble in the beginning. I had a bit of difficulty getting it to run. It kept getting caught up in my pen, and I dipped ink quite a bit before I got the pen to flow, and I thought maybe it's because I haven't used this pen in a while, maybe it needs a cleaning. After a few moments, I did get the pen to finally draw ink. What I noticed immediately was that writing the word calligraphy using this template example I found on the internet was extremely hard and frustrating. A lot more time was taken, and it felt like the pen almost had a mind of its own. I couldn't quite get the ink, the words, the letter to flow the way that I wanted to. I suddenly became aware of my hand smudging wet ink, and I had to play with the angle of the paper, the angle of the pen, the angle of my hand in order to get it to where it would flow nicely. What I noticed going back over the two examples, the ReMarkable 2 example and the pen and paper, it was easier to master the word on the ReMarkable 2. Like it happened almost instantaneously. And while it looked pretty, it looked very nice, and with a little more practice, it could have been perfect. It kind of lacked texture. It lacked uniqueness and personality. It lacked nuance. And at first I thought, well, I'm using red ink, so maybe it's not fair. The ReMarkable 2 only uses black ink. So I decided to switch from using red ink on the paper to using black ink. Red ink, I felt in that moment, evoked drama, evoked passion. It was maybe a bit too biased toward looking cool and unique. So I switched to the black ink and I found the same nuance in writing with the red ink. This is a whole process, by the way. Writing the word calligraphy on the ReMarkable 2 was a matter of 5 minutes. The process of writing calligraphy on my paper with ink and a pen, a nib, took probably about 15 minutes. And I wasn't even diving deep into it. When cleaning my pen in order to prep it for the black ink, I realized that the ReMarkable 2 is a device that's only necessary because of technology. I wrote this whole script while I was practicing calligraphy on the paper on the ReMarkable 2. Instead of erasing any mistakes I made to just be crossing them out, I'm moving right along. The ReMarkable 2 is for facilitation. It's for ideas. It's for success. And in cleaning my pen and ink, I felt connected to the way we used to write in the past, the way we used to do things in the past, the way things weren't so easy. And the longer you took something, maybe the more you mastered it. I understood that the calligraphy pen, the dip pen, the purpose of it today is not to facilitate something. Today it's something you do for enjoyment, to slow down, to challenge yourself. Well, the ultimate point is always use what you want, do what you want. Don't let me be the judge of that. So, on that note, how do we move forward? Well, thanks for watching.